This is Davis Don McLeroy Gaviola, your facilitator. So we will be taking this new concept in community health nursing, similar with social media today. This is Know Your Community Challenge, where I will be presenting the community I've lived in when I was a child, so that you can have a picture of what we will be doing for this module. Of my adolescent years that molded me as to who I am today. We have migrated to this place when I was a teenager, and up until I studied here in Cebu. So Guiuan is a rural community on the eastern Pacific of Region 8. It is a second-class municipality as they identify it with a total population of 52,991. It has a total land mass of 67.76 square mile composing of 60 barangays. And with this, people identify themselves as the Guiuananons, where they speak and identify themselves from the Ware-Ware ethnic group. In terms of its history, Guiuan played a significant role on the Philippine history, where in 1521, it was dated that Magellan landed on one of the islands of Guiuan, which was Homonhon Island. Guiuan also served as an alliance base for the White Russians during the Second World War. They catered for the Russian refugees under the Bolshevik Russian Revolution. All this played a role in the history and the development of culture in Guiuan. As we relate this, we take the concepts of Module 1, where if we try to understand community, we should understand three things: the place, the people, and the function. In terms of place, as I've stated earlier, it is composed of 60 barangays and 4 island barangays, namely Humonhon, Suluan, Tubabaw, and Manikani. It is surrounded by the huge Pacific Ocean, which makes it prone for storms and other natural calamities. And in terms of housing, majority of the houses are made from light materials, but there are portions that are made of concrete. In general, majority of its land mass is composed of oceans and underdeveloped land. But on the recent years, there have been a start of mining in one of the island barangays, which has been detrimental to the environment. But other than that, the other land areas are still on its virgin state. In terms of people, number 2. In terms of people within the municipality are mostly composed of young to middle adults, but there are portions of older adults and younger adults. Majority of the population and families belong to the lower income class. That's why most of the families, if you come to visit the place, are enrolled under the conditional cash transfer or the 4 Ps program of the government. And that if we look into the family demography, most families comprise of 2 to 8 family members, where it is patriarchal in nature and sometimes mixed. One thing peculiar of the people is the increased prevalence and incidence of thyroid conditions like your hypo and hyperthyroidism. Researchers have said that this onset of disease was caused by the left landmines during the Japanese War, where the Japanese implanted bombs. And these bombs have contaminated the waters. That's why those researchers have concluded that there might be a significant influence of the contamination of water and the soil that contributed to the development of thyroid condition. In terms of function, we can include occupation within that cluster, where I can identify that most of the people are focused on agricultural production, mostly on fishing and raising other aquatic resources. Some engage in pearl cultivation, and some also engage in small-scale businesses like your sari-sari stores or those vendors who sell goods on the market. Within the population, small to A medium amount of people belong to the white collar jobs where you can include the professionals because they are teachers, they are physicians, they are doctors there, and other professionals that help within the society. But but mostly the nature of work there is on agriculture and small scale businesses. If you come to visit the place, you would be fascinated with the different tourist destinations. That's why Guiuan has been a prospect for tourism development, where it has a vast and wide range of oceans and beaches, as well as natural wonders like underground caves. There is an underground cave, a surfing destination, which Guiuan was coined as the surfing capital of the Philippines. And the mode of transport when you visit the different barangays and tourist sites is through a motorcycle. Some people, the locals, would just walk, and some would prefer pedal vehicles like your pedicab. With the place community services, we have the schools. In Guiuan, we have three divisions under the Department of Education, where on the elementary level or the primary level, we have three schools on the mainland: Guiuan East Central School, Lupok Central School, and the Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart School. They cater to primary education, and most of them belong to the three divisions of the department. We have one fire station, one police station within the mainland of the municipality. We also have a rural health unit, but for barangay health centers, not all barangays have their own health centers. That's why the focal point of health service delivery is the rural health unit. There is one big wet market which has small scale businesses within it, and groceries, as well as pharmacies. And lastly, there is a community space, the Guiuan Municipal Park, and I would consider the Guiuan terminal, as an activity space because it is very spacious and you can do a lot of activities there. But mostly the function of it is to transport people from one place to the other. Lastly, before I end this video challenge to you, we tackle its assets. One of its assets is tourism, since it is a developing municipality with a lot of natural wonders and its history and its agricultural products, the different deep sea fishes from the Pacific Ocean and other sea creatures. Second asset is, I think, and I feel that there is a sense of community. There is a sense of common unity since the community is very small. It's just a small municipality where if you go to another silingan or if you go to another barangay, people would know you because the municipality is very small. And with that one, there is a development of close ties that promotes that common sense of unity, or what we call community. Cost of living there also is cheaper since it is identified as a second-class municipality. The GDP, if I'm not mistaken, is also lower. But if you work there, you would also have lesser earnings. That's why most of the people would try to migrate to other places. But in terms of cost, it's cheaper there. There is also a radar station, one of three in the Philippines, that caters to the Visayas region. And as what I've said earlier, the different beaches and oceans that shows its flamboyance to the different tourists who visit the place. In terms of needs, or the areas that needs attention, let me take my código because there is a lot of needs to be addressed within this. We have number one, the accessibility of services. Because as what I've said earlier, especially on the health aspect, there is only one focal point of health service delivery within the municipality, and it has a difficulty of catering for the needs of the people within the barangay level. Number two is jobs. That's what I've said again earlier. People migrate. People study in nearby cities and even in distant cities like me. I studied here in Cebu. And most of these people look for jobs after they study on those cities because there are decreased opportunities for people to be employed. Unlike when you go to cities that there are big companies who can accommodate you. Next one is safety from calamity. Since I've said earlier, the municipality is located within the Pacific Ocean. That's why recently it has been stricken by the Yolanda super typhoon and it has destroyed a lot of houses and it killed a lot of people. Next one is technology. Everything is basic in Guiuan. Even the internet signal is not that strong that would help you to connect to the other parts of the world, and everything is basic. As long as you can eat food, you can go to school, you have a house, everything is okay there. There's also a problem in urban planning and household planning, as these households are not patterned as to its environment, the nature of its environment, since we have said earlier that Guiuan is a calamity prone area. So I hope that the government would consider that one by developing establishments that can protect people from tidal waves from the ocean, and the houses to improve the households of the people, especially the light material houses. There is also a problem on energy supply, as energy supply is not constant there. There is a schedule of power interruptions that lasts for a day or two, and during storms, the power interruption would mostly last for a month up to 6 months from my experience before. So the government should look into that because a lot of things there is a detrimental effect to a lot of things, especially to the processes within society. Because we cannot deny that fact that we need electricity for productivity. There is also a need to diversify tertiary education because there is only one university, a government university that caters to the people in the people within the municipality and the nearby municipalities for tertiary education. There is also a problem of government service agencies availability because not all government agencies are present within the municipality. You need to travel to the nearest city, which is Tacloban City or Borongan City, for you to comply with a lot of things like the Department of Foreign Affairs if you would like to acquire a passport, the SSS, the GSIS, and the different agencies of the government. And lastly, an issue in the Philippines, not only in Guiuan, is the problem of poverty. There is poverty within the municipality. That's why I've also considered it as a need to be addressed. So that's it. This is the Know Your Community Challenge, and I'm leaving it to you on our activity within session 1. Don't worry, you won't be making this video, you will just be answering and familiarize yourself with the different communities you have been affiliated within your clinical orientation. If I'm not mistaken, the level 3 is affiliated with Babag 1, Babag 2, Marigondon, and Gizo. So you are assigned with these communities, and I hope you can have a grasp of the community similar with how I did this challenge. Thank you, and it's your turn now.